Officer Davis gripped his steering wheel, knuckles white. Sirens blared, a useless warning against the impossible. He'd seen the reports, the shaky videos, but nothing prepared him for this. It was sprawled across Peachtree Street, a grotesque mockery of joy. A smiley face monster. It was massive, easily 20 feet tall, its skin a sickly yellow that pulsed under the streetlights. Its eyes, black pits ringed with malevolent red, followed his every move. The smile, a grotesque gash stretching across its face, revealed rows of jagged, needle-like teeth. Davis drew his weapon, the metal cold against his palm. He'd faced down armed thugs, desperate junkies, but this was different. This was primal fear, a terror that gnawed at the edges of sanity. As the creature lurched to its feet, a terrifying guttural roar echoing through the night, Davis knew this wasn't a fight he could win. The smiley face monsters, as they came to be known, were a nightmare given form. Towering, grotesque figures with skin like rotting cheese and eyes that burned with cold, alien intelligence. They moved with surprising speed and agility, their enormous hands capable of crushing cars and tearing through concrete. But their most terrifying feature was their smile. A grotesque parody of human expression, it stretched across their faces like a gaping maw, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Their laughter, a cacophony of shrieks and guttural growls, was enough to drive men mad. They seemed to revel in chaos and destruction, their attacks on the city becoming more frequent and more brazen. Buildings crumbled under their assault. Cars were tossed aside like toys, and the screams of the fleeing populace echoed through the empty streets. Atlanta, once a vibrant metropolis, was quickly becoming a ghost town, its streets haunted by the nightmares come to life. The police were outmatched, their standard-issue weapons useless against the smiley face monster's thick hides. Even high-caliber rounds seemed to have little effect, the bullets bouncing harmlessly off their rubbery flesh. Explosives were too dangerous to use in the densely populated city, and even if they could inflict damage, the creature's regenerative abilities were terrifyingly efficient. Wounds closed in seconds, leaving behind barely a scar. The National Guard had been called in, but their heavier weaponry proved equally ineffective. Tanks and armored vehicles were tossed aside like toys, their firepower barely scratching the surface of the monster's defenses. Desperation began to set in. The city was on the brink of collapse, and the authorities seemed powerless to stop it. Something had to be done, and soon, before Atlanta became another tragic footnote in the annals of history. We are losing. The brave men and women of law enforcement are fighting valiantly, but they are simply outmatched. The National Guard, despite their courage and firepower, are being overwhelmed. Atlanta, once a symbol of Southern pride, is teetering on the brink of annihilation. This is not a fight we can afford to lose. If Atlanta falls, what's to stop these monsters from spreading across the country, across the world? We need to act now, and we need to act decisively. The military is our only hope. Their advanced weaponry, their tactical expertise, their unwavering resolve, these are the tools we need to combat this threat. We need airstrikes, we need heavy artillery, we need the full might of the United States Armed Forces brought to bear against these creatures. This is a call to action, a plea for survival. Contact your representatives, make your voices heard. Tell them we need the military, and we need them now. The fate of Atlanta, the fate of our nation may very well depend on it.